Yeah, me not fail. Oh, and I know deep down it's hard for you. Take a deep breath and everything will come through. Just leave it to God, 'cause He knows what is good for you. Good for you. Must stay strong, come and make a promise. I fi make mommy proud and daddy happy. More while me lose hope and give up a bit. Can't sleep when I come me and overthink. The pain in my heart make me feel so sick. Ask God to give me strength to overcome this. Overcome this. And I know deep down it's hard for you. Take a deep breath. Everything will come through.
You are tuned in to Reggae Open University. This is the relay. The exchange will be on the track, passing that musical baton. And of course, we also be on the track, hoping to bring together some synergies. Maybe at the end of the show, we'll have a track. Who knows? Tonight, we have some beautiful guests with us. We have Mr. Lexx. We have Joby J, and of course we have Vibrations, who is the winner of the Jaria's online competition. I mean, as I said, we're gonna take you through a journey. And I know usually we preambulate with an introduction, but I'm gonna allow all of you to introduce yourselves through your music. And I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Lexx. And we're starting from that, from the angle of the musical exchange. We want you to describe for us, when you just started out in music, what was that exchange like for you? Were you able to benefit from those who were before you? And at some point in your career, would you say you've been able to hand over that exchange?
I benefited a lot from everybody who was before me. What I did to create me was I took a little bit of here and a little bit of there from a whole plethora of artists. The humor in my music, I got that from Professor Nuts. The lyrical part of my career, I got that from Lieutenant Stitchy, Papa San. Them are the man I used to watch, and lyrical, just like lyrics for days. You know what I say? And the stage performance part of it, I took a little bit from Ninja Man, and a couple of them were good on stage and stuff. So but my all-time favorite artist was Shabba Ranks. Well, is Shabba Ranks. He was the artist who made me be like, yo, nah man, that more I do, Because he just had the flair. Him just have the starting there, and so like I took a whole lot of different pieces from different artists and then created me, you know what I say? And yeah, of course, when I got on, I did my best to put on a couple of people. I did, and when I call name, if you go scroll through the industry, a lot of people will say, yo, yeah, Mr. Alex, some of the artists them were really helped me through them thing. It's always a pleasure for me to help young artists, is what I say.
Love that, love that. And as you shared your own experience with us, it sounds like it's your observing, listening to their music, taking a piece from here. Talk to us about that physical exchange of being in studio with some of these people, or being able to have conversations so we can say, okay, here's this physical baton of exchange. Were you able to experience that, and what was that like for you?
Yeah, man, okay, so the first time I ever go one studio where there's like a whole heap of stars. The thing was, you couldn't just walk into the studio like that. You'd at first have to impress the security. then you have to impress the rest of the artists them in the yard. Then you have to impress the producer them, and you just impress everybody.
That was a whole relay.
That was a whole relay. So it took a while. Okay, so this is it's kind of weird how I got in. I used to play football and them thing. I was a very active looking youth and things, so I kind of popular in my community. I dance, I in a dance group named Squadron and stuff, so I kind of have a little popularity in my community. And so one day, I sit down out on the front, just after I left high school. Didn't even know me that I got turn artist or nothing. So I just left high school and they struck a pass with some man on it. And they say, yo, him can't play football, Yo, I got St. Thomas, got play some ball. And I never hesitate. I just jump, I just run go get my football boots and a shorts and jump on the truck and go to St. Thomas. We played the match. Game done, and them have a stage show another night. And I get a chance to get the mic and just smash up the whole place. So then now them start say, yo, our studio will hang out, Our studio, just come to our studio. And that's how I really got to our studio. But but when I got to our studio, all I did up on the truck was aspiring star. So from 1992, I start watch all of them person they become star. So the first person was the bus out of it was Praga Benz, and then Terror Fabulous, and then it was just like some I live it with them, with everybody. So me had the last one on the truck, me had the last one on the bus out of the park.
And what year? Give us a timestamp. So your year would have been when?
When my boss, it would be 1999. I recorded my first song 1992, so I can safely say that's when my professional career started.
1992. So remember, we're going on a journey. We're taking on a timeline of where we're starting. So we're at 1992.
1992, right?
Look at that.
And so it's like 30. This year gonna be 31 years.
Yeah.
I will live a years that for real.
Yeah.
So I've experienced a lot. I lived a lot with a lot of stars. I've seen stars come. I've seen stars go. I've seen a lot for real.
We love that, and we're gonna jump a little bit to the timeline, Joby. According to research, it says 2019 is when you graced the stage. So we're moving from 1992, right? And we're jumping to 2019. Now, talk to us about, just as we spoke to Mr. Lexx, how were you able to experience that exchange with, whether it is through observing music or that physical exchange of being able to have conversations with those within the industry, whether they're artists or they're supporting. What was that like for you?
So luckily, I went to Edna for school. So even though I was doing photography, I was always taking note over music school. So I never miss a lunch hour, I never miss a final year show. Me that palm my eyelash over there. So I think my relay started from not only artists, but music students. So I would be watching them doing their performances, getting graded, watching the final year shows. And then through photography, I was allowed to work with different artists. So I was allowed to photograph different artists, be in their space, see how they move. I was at studio sessions doing BTS, video shoots, stuff like that. So I was just always, taking in what I could and making notes even before I actually knew I wanted to do music. Because, I can sing a long time. But I wasn't really sure when I started Edna. So for me, my journey was really more towards the end when I left. And I would always be going to the live shows, anywhere the creative stuff happening, where there's a performance or anything, I would always be there. And I would just take notes and watch them, and I would always see myself on stage. So for me, any chance I got to interact with people who are in the industry and just watch them and take in what I could, that was really how it started for me. And then when I started music, because of the network and the relationships that I built with different people in the music industry through photography, it made it a very seamless transition for me. Because even though people didn't know, a lot of people didn't know that I could sing, but they were just like, we're familiar with Joby, we know Joby, oh, you can sing? All right, cool. So that kind of made my transition a lot smoother, I'm not gonna lie. So that's really how it happened for me in terms of how I got into music. Even my manager now, I met her at Edna through a mutual friend, and when I decided that I wanted to start music, I was just like, you know what, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know you have some experience, so just help me.
And let's do this.
That's just how it happened for me.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And we're hearing that synergy. There's almost a track already here, right? So we're hearing the synergy of that really happening through other things, through other skill sets.
You know what I have to mention? And this month, I am birth month, Dennis Brown.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got the
May his
legend.
soul rest in peace. At the same studio, when I was a young artist, he used to come at the studio, and this is something that always lived in the back of my head. Every time Dennis Brown come at the studio, he always sit down, he have one particular corner, him sit down and always call all away, we're a young artist, and say, make me hear what you have. Make me hear what you have. And
Nice.
we just sing, and it was just a joy for us to sing for the done, and just sing. So I kept that in my head. And so I know that when I get on, as much as we can help anybody get on, it is never an issue. So we just always pass on the button. Always pass on the button, is it?
Love that, love that. And I mean, Vibrations, you are vibing with us today. Vibrations is a winner of the online Jaria competition, and he hails from Brooklyn.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, and you started out with hip hop, as you shared with me, and then now you're into reggae. Now talk to us about your journey of that exchange. What was that like for you?
I'll be honest, like I didn't want nothing to do with music because so my father's Professor Grizzly, and he sung Shining Star with Look Lenny, so a Southern bus, and I just wanted to play video games. I just wanted to do gaming software and stuff like that. But what hit me was, of growing up in Brooklyn, of course, it's hip hop. You got Hot 97, WBLS from those times. And I remember hearing Notorious B.I.G. freestyles. Like, I got 7 Mac 11. I can't say the lyrics. But I didn't know what that was. And then I also used to get in trouble looking out the window because there was a couple of friends that was older than I was that was like, you know, freestyling, rapping outside of the window. So my mom used to be like, you need to go to sleep. And yeah. So that's what grew my interest, and I just started writing raps. Every rap would have yo, yo, yo. You know what I mean? So, but fast forward, how I got into reggae is very ironic because I had got sick, like extremely sick. Well, I could have like passed away sick. Before I left New York City, I moved down south to North Carolina for a couple years. And prior to me leaving, long story short, I changed my diet cold turkey, got rid of my sicknesses and stuff like that. And I wanted to complete the entire change of me. So what I did outside of the eating change, I changed to the music. And this is actually, with me having locks now, this is my 3rd time growing my hair, but my 1st time having locks. So as I said, I wanted to do the complete change.
Like a holistic thing.
Yeah, so what made me get the locks and jump into reggae music was like I wanted to complete my whole being in regards to my entire self and my entire craft. So that's what made me jump into reggae music. Started to, you know, learn patois because I was not good at it. I didn't have.
Welcome to Jamaica.
Right?
Yeah.
We love that. We love that. Now, I know we're gonna have you sharing your music with us for about 2 minutes or so. But before we get into that, we all shared earlier how we got into it and how it was such an amazing journey. And there are people listening to us. We saw the performance that opened. ZJ Sparks, saw that person online and was like, oh, hey, you're good. Let's go. Let's do this together. But I mean, through this relay and exchange, what would you say have been the challenges? And we're going to talk about that because there are others who are in the space who want to participate in that relay, and they may be having hiccups. They may be falling over. They may be not knowing how to kind of reach for it. What were some of the challenges that you would have experienced in that exchange, and how did you,
for me,
go through it?
The whole thing has changed now. Well, I got famous without the internet.
Hello.
You really have to.
Yeah.
But the whole thing, like, it's kind of different now because during my era, we had to rely on a certain particular set of platforms, and those are certain media houses, certain radio stations, and certain sound system and selectors. That was just it.
Okay.
So we have to, garner the best ones them and make sure a song is being played on the certain radio station or get into certain media houses. So now it's a whole complete different thing. The internet has opened it up and make it so I can't compare the both eras because it's really, really different now. Now you have Instagram, you have TikTok, you have YouTube. So me. I had to go to the studio, like I said, and impress Steely and Cleve them first before we can even get into the studio. Now you don't have to impress nobody. You can just stay at home and
just do your thing.
Do your thing at home and just put it up on YouTube.
Actual facts.
And if they like it, they like it. You know what I'm saying? But the challenges were, like I say, it's just like going to school and then you have midterm exam, and then you have the summer exam, and then your exam. So my exam was the barbecues, them is like the Alpha barbecue, the Calabar barbecue, KC Mayfair. Those were the things that we look forward to. So that's how I get my practice. And anytime I look up stage something, any panana, that's how I'm gonna get my practice. And then I say, but now it's different. It's really different. And Jovi would have to speak on the nowadays.
Definitely,
it's really different from my time.
Yeah. No, I mean, he literally passed the baton to you.
Yeah, challenges. So as I said before, when I was talking about, how I kind of got into it, when I was starting, I didn't have much challenges, as I said, because I already was known in the creative space, so a lot of things happened very seamlessly for me. But when the challenge started, because me decided to start my career on the cusp of a pandemic.
Hello.
Let's talk about it. So imagine, 2019 come, I did 3 live shows, I hope I'm not wrong. Unplugged was the show that I did that really sent my career upwards. But did Unplugged in August. Everybody I said, okay, all right, Joby J can actually, all right, cool. Then we start get interview and all kind of something. And then I released Big Girl Thing, my debut single in December. And then I said, all right, music will go on, people love the song. And I said, all right, then I do road now, I do show and whatever.
All right, we're gonna go to a quick break. You are tuned into Reggae Open University, and once we're back, we're gonna resume the conversation, the relay, the exchange.
Like, alright, so just for me, like bits and pieces of the experiences that came from your era, I had to embody that. Plus, what's going on.
Time to go.
Ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Reggae Open University. You are about to be graced. Well, he's going to join us on the track because this is all about the track. It's Vibrations, who is the winner of the Jaria online competition. Now, please have him welcome.
I got a story to tell. I've got a story to tell. Me have a story to tell. Me have a story to. Yeah, it's no matter what you read upon the internet, you can never question my true intellect. Amount of stress, amount of disrespect. Till you read the proof that I and I reflect. I never hide, I'm not afraid to stretch. Within these young years, I've seen the worst at best. Some don't recognize the chambers in them chests. Never miss out on awareness, make the investment to be. Very few will buy, and rather rent to lease. What's in the naked eye, don't want themselves deplete. Never miss a line unto divine that carry peace. If you cross the line of family vibes, a Lego piece. An harmony walking to the vibes. Loudest who converse them committed the most crime. Babylon not really get to way out of line. Oh, Jah bless the real must combine. So, say don't judge me, cause you don't even know me. So get to know me, cause I'm here, right here in front of you. Say don't judge me, cause you don't even know me. Wanna get to know me, cause I'm here, right? They told me that I die for changing what I eat. Funny, I'm still alive from changing what I eat. When I turn around and question what I eat, cause what I eat defeat purpose of pharmacies. The real pharmacy is in that produce section. I'm never afraid to gun down all those lies and mentions. about every pill and vaccine injection. But I'm not gonna get too deep, slightly out of direction. But bump that, bring it right back. Be careful what you eat, cause what you eat not turn back. Say food kill 10 times more than a gunshot. Tell me if it shell on this tune, so tell me which side you got. Whoa, you bump that, bring it right back. Be careful what you eat, cause what you eat not turn back. Food kill 10 times more than a gunshot. Tell me if it shell on this tune. Whoa, whoa, ooh. So don't judge me, cause you don't even know me. Wanna get to know me, cause I'm here, right here in front of you. So don't judge me, cause you don't even know me. Wanna get to know me, cause I'm here, right here in front of you. Please don't be afraid of yourself. Please don't be afraid of yourself. Peace.
All right. That was vibrations. That was a whole vibe.
Right?
That was
Definitely
a whole
a vibe.
vibe. Thank you so much for being
Vibe.
with us. Thank you so much. And I mean, thank you for joining us for the relay. And I'm sure after this, there will be some musical connections and vibrations and exchanges, and I'm looking forward to it. I give thanks. Now, we are going to be graced by another guest. We've been talking about the exchanges, the relays in music, and how can we ensure that those exchanges that we benefited from, other artists can definitely benefit from them as well? And how can we create those new exchanges as we move into a new era, if we may, of music? And as we await our special guest, we were talking about some challenges earlier, you know, and you were about to share with us some more things, Joby, on what are some challenges you faced as you came into the industry, as you took that baton, you know, of being a part of this musical space.
Yeah, so the first challenge for me was I started my career on the cusp of the pandemic. So late 2019 released my first single. Then I said, all right, next year I'm going to do road, I'm going to perform and, you know, promote and whatever. Pandemic said, nope. Pandemic said, stay in your yard or you're going to get sick. So I was just like, okay. It was a lot for me because I was just like, wow, all of my dreams are going down the drain. Am I going to get to experience being on stage again? Right, me I say, being on stage. Am I going to get to experience touring because you can't travel? Me I say,
balloon pop.
You know, but you know, thanks to social media, I did my best during that time to make the best of social media. So I was just posting my stuff, doing my little videos here and there. And then apart from, you know, the pandemic and having to adjust with just everything that the pandemic brought, as Mr. Lexx said, when he did start music under the bus, the internet was not the internet now. The internet never was interneting, you understand? So with social media, there's a lot you have to think about. You have to try to be creative. How do I stay relevant? How do I show up as myself? Because I think it's very easy with social media for you to kind of compare yourself, because you see this a person, you see this a person. It can be a lot for you to take in. So you have to kind of have a level of self-awareness and confidence and know what you're about so that you can show up as yourself. And also you have to think about strategy and being creative, and sometimes you have to follow the trends to benefit what you're trying to promote. So it's a lot, but you really have to just have good people around you and know what you're about. And as I said before, show up as yourself because you are unique. And yeah.
And I mean, we did set the stage that it's a relay. It's a track with other people on it. It's a race. It's not just you. You're passing the baton. You're taking the baton. And we welcome the Queen to our stage, Nadine Sutherland. Welcome to the Exchange. And what we've been talking about is, you know, as you enter into the musical space, for Lexx, for Joby, they shared how they were able to take a baton from someone else. And throughout their journey, they've also been able to pass it on. And we know that you've been through that experience of taking that baton from different people on this journey. I would like for you to share with us what that was like for you, you know, being able to have that exchange as you entered the music industry. And as you went on, how were you able to pass that baton to others as well?
So my baton is a little bit, you know, my baton was the king of reggae, who basically planned this, you know. the Wailers is because the Wailers they wail because of unscrupulous, nefarious producers and promoters. So in his head, he wanted the journey to be a little bit easier for young and upcoming artists. I won Tasty Talent Contest, and my prize was a recording contract with Tough Gong. So I was ushered in. My first song, somebody wrote it for me. As a young schoolgirl, my father was there with them cutlass. I watched them as they watched me. It's like, make sure you get it right. Right, I pay homage to the spirit of Bob Marley, who thought it's not only me alone, benefited from that dream of his, just to see that him can make, poor people life better. Because as a country girl, and he did all of that. So I really am appreciative of the baton he gave me. And I think the baton I pass on, well, Rising Star is one. But, I think I facilitated. I really don't like to talk about.
Can I share how she passed the baton to me?
Of course, of course. It's a live relay. Hello.
I'm like the artist thing in Jamaica now, the newest artist and everything now. And so we were working on an album for VP Records. And we were working with, I think it was Tony Kelly. And so I think it was Christy Barber or somebody said, yo, we need you and a female artist on the album too. And I don't remember who suggested Nadine Sutherland, but all I can remember is this lady in the studio. And for the whole entire time, I'm like...
in awe. Like, oh.
Is this real?
Because that's Nadine Sutherland. They asked her to come sing with me, and she never hesitated. She was just there, and that was a moment I always remember, though.
Thank you so much.
That was like 23 years ago. That's
a long time.
That's 2 decades ago.
Yeah. The young lady we saw on the screen, that's probably her entire lifetime.
I don't know, right? And so she recorded on my album, and it was an amazing song, and thanks for
the memory.
Thanks.
The memories. I don't remember this stuff. Because it's been a long career, right? But, even, sometimes a youth will come to me and say, remember, you were the first person who made me sing background vocals, or you took me to the studio for the first time.
What?
So
you on my album? What?
I don't remember, but I know, and I don't keep it in my head. But if I see talent, I will try to pull you up. When I went to UA, Sandra and I said it's the best thing to me. I will let you in, but you have to keep yourself in.
Right.
So somebody will open up the doors for you, but you have to keep yourself in with your attitude, work ethics, and all of that. So for the young people who I see that I've helped some way, a lot of them have kept themselves in, but some kick themselves out. But you can't do nothing about that.
And that's funny, because that's exactly how a relay works. The person hands it to you, and then it is now your job. What you going to do? You're going to fling weight, you're going to use it, you're going to bring it to the finish line. It's really your job to decide what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
And earlier we also talked about the different challenges that they would have faced as they entered this relay and this exchange. And it's completely different then and now. For you, what would you say were some of those hiccups as you ran that relay, and how were you able to go through it?
I think basically some of the stuff would be there. I mean, this is a very competitive environment, and there are a lot of insecurities. And people will create rumors, so them feel like that is stabbing you, and make I think bad mind is real and active. It surely is.
For sure.
But for me, it's a reflection of where you are in your headspace, because there's no need, because God is such a vast God, and
there's room for everybody.
There's room and abundance for everybody, and you cannot stay at the top forever. Donovan Germain always says, as long as I'm in the conversation, to be there is one thing, but you're not going to be the hot artist for 40 years.
All the time, right?
Yeah.
Love that. And we have to go to a break in a few, but before we go, we're normally talking about our exchange from an experienced artist to an artist who is just coming. How about the switch? How can the Queen, Nadine, Lexx learn from a Joby? What does that look like?
But
in
I
2023?
learn from them every day, because the digital...
Take us through it.
The digital landscape is something that was just not in my era.
Right.
Remember, I came in 1979, that had two Gleaner and Daily News and JBC. And that was basically where our media landscape was. When Tasty Talent Contest, everybody just know about you through, everybody listen to JBC and RJR. So when I see Joby and they understand the social media landscape more than me and the digital landscape, I have to be learning it. So I'm looking at the younger people. I hear her speaking, and you know, in terms of being creative with the stuff that you put on. I have to be learning that landscape. Initially, it's Lila IK changed me. Initially, I was never post basic. I'm like, oh God, it's so superficial. Oh my God, all these fake people. Oh my God. And I used to be like that. And Lila IK, I remember distinctly. It was before, it was the year of COVID. We did something for Reggae Month, and she said, you know, it's the way I can relate to my fans, and I'm doing this for my fans. When I reframed it, it's a younger artist taught me. When I reframed it, and I'm like, people love you. They want to see what is going on. This is a way, a format I can communicate with my fans.
Yeah, because I mean, me as a fan, when I see Nadine Sutherland post, I'm like, oh, what should I go on with? I'm like, oh, what your post? I'm like, watch me. I'm like, I need to jump on them like she.
And just on that note, we are about to take a break. You are tuned in to Reggae Open University. But of course, we'd like to say a special thank you to our sponsors, Chase, Urban Development Commission, Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, J. and Nephew, PBC Jamaica, Sandals, and Creations Food. Thank you so much. We'll be right back for the Relay, the Exchange. Reggae Open University. We are talking about an exchange. We are on the track, a physical track, handing over that musical baton, but of course we're on a track bringing all of these musical synergies together. And we were just talking about how we can exchange the baton from a new artist to a legend, to an experienced artist. But before we do that, we're going to flip back a little bit. Nadine, before you joined us, we saw on screen a beautiful young artist who...
She was good.
I mean, she was so good. Her voice is beautiful. I mean, there are a lot more of these artists coming into the space. And you started out as teen reggae.
11,
right?
11.
Yeah.
First song, no, the first song was my first song release, because Tasty was December. And I became 12 March the 15th. And Starvation was released when I was 12, my first song.
There you go.
So that's a series of events.
Milk on your mouth.
I know.
Milk on your mouth, Connor.
What year was that?
1979, I won Tasty.
Wow.
And 1980, my first song was released.
Me, they brag about 30 years. My 30 years a joke.
Hello. No, I mean, we have this young artist here who, you know, ZJ Sparks saw her online and said, hey, this is really, really good. What would be your advice to a young artist as her that's coming up with your experience, you know, coming into the space at a very, very young age?
Make sure you love it. Make sure you love it, because you see a lot of people sometimes see the star and the glitz and think that is every day. And to get that star and the glitz is a lot of hard work. For some people, even if it happened overnight, to sustain it, they will recognize and realize, because it can happen overnight and it just leave, because you're not sustaining it with putting in creativity, writing new songs, making yourself interesting, learning new stuff, you know. And then another thing that I noticed is that sometimes we give up too quickly. You know, sometimes we give up too quickly. I remember when Barris spoke to me one day and he was telling me about his life. And when he have One Step and all those big ballads, I think he left the music industry and went away. And come back and just start hit it with Donovan, Jermaine, with all of those reggae hits and all of that. And, you know, sometimes despair can come into your soul and you say, okay, it must be, you know, another way or whatsoever. And then, you know, you come back and you just like do it. You know, so sometimes everything is like, somebody said there's no failure. And if I tell you about the successes that you have seen for Nadine Sutherland, they are like 90% failure to the 10% success that you see.
Whole heap of stitches on that track.
Oh my God. Before there was action, I remember once in my early 20s, they gave me an opportunity in the States to sing Dancing Queen, young and free on the tambourine. And it was a colossal failure. It was in the wrong key. It was so terrible. Oh, no. I was so devastated, not even knowing that coming up, you know, I would have packed my bag, go to England, another failure, that it reached right there. So Karen Wheeler from Soul to Soul. We're talking back to life, back to reality.
Not so, a whole choir on the Exchange. Hello.
I mean, we're artists.
So I went and I auditioned for the part, and I got it. So in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna be the next Karen Wheeler, and that's gonna be like segue into my, you know, solo success and the hype that surrounded me in England with all these English record executives, the managers, them. Me not think it is the word. That's an understatement. Them want to kill each other.
Oh.
Wow.
So the deal just went sour.
Oh no.
So just think about that dream now that you leave Jamaica and say, all of my enemy them, I was send me with soul to soul. And you have all of that and you just hype up. And then the next thing that happened is that the manager then, he was like, you know, there's a lot of buzz to start. There's some demos. Me do demo, me I walk from, me I take training in England, left, right and center, the demo. And one of the demo them released the other day. The burdens of love. It's the burdens of love. It was all R&B and all of that. Nothing happened. So he said to me, go back to Jamaica. At that time, Shabba go on with things. So I came back to Jamaica and I did, ooh, I started doing all of those songs.
And it was your love for it. You have had to love it.
I love it. Listen, when in Jamaica, I love growing in Jamaica. A lot of people don't understand because your knowledge, the multiplicity of music that you can do. You can do R&B. If you take me, you make me do a classical tune, I can do it because you're trained that way. Our sensibilities and sensitivities, we don't have no compartments.
Yeah.
So and then when it comes to you love the dancer.
Jamaican people love such a wide variety of music.
Of course. That's who we are. So when I come back now and them said do dancehall, I was more than ready because when it was our growing up, we were dancing quick up from post before the Shabba came and all of that. So when I came back, Action was actually a demo.
Wow. There you go.
So you're talking about all of these disappointments that and working like a dog. May I walk up and down with my training because I find out if I go pick a dilly and may I take the training for go meet for the demo and it was just ridiculous. Come home, started doing these songs, doing Action as a demo and then Dave Kelly released it. It was released there as Nadine Sutherland and Terror Fabulous. It became this big hit in the dance hall. Then in the ethnic market, Nadine Sutherland and Terror Fabulous. Then Terror was signed to East West Electra. A lot of people don't know this. They knew I'm a dancer. Karen Mason, she's like, I know you're a trained dancer. I want you to be responsible for the dancing. So all of the dancing with the Action, I walk up and down, I find all of the dancer then, and I've got the choreographer, went and get a girl and said, all right, me know say no, all of the newest dancers dance. So she taught me this, because World of Dance was basically, we did this thing.
And that's live exchange right there. That's literally all your talk is literally live exchange. Here's a baton for this, your musical career for that, dancing for that. And I mean, we're talking about how we literally carry all of this into now and ensure that it carries on. I know we don't have a lot of time, but what I want us to do is, before we wrap into the next break, is to consider what's the importance of this musical exchange between an established artist and a younger artist both ways. How important would you say that is?
It is very important. That's how it live on. That's how the music lives on. That's how one step lead to another step. So if it stop right on me, then it now going further. So if I pass it on, and then that person, it's that person's job to pass it on to somebody else, and then it's that person's job to pass it on to somebody else. I mean, like, which is why I always argue with my peers in my era. Well, as I said, that nobody is youth them. I crap them I do, and I think, no, it's not crap them I do, because they're getting famous and they're getting rich, so clearly somebody like it. It's just a whole different thing from what we used to do. And at no point the music is gonna stay the same way.
Right.
And you are not gonna, like Nadine said earlier, you are not gonna be the artist forever. You got to, so we need, like, some artists can live with that. Like, some artists know them love the up, but they don't know how to deal with the down.
They don't.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
they're
saying?
not
And
equipped.
when you get to that point of where you're down and when you're not the man anymore, some of them get frustrated, and that's how hate and bad mind come into something. You know
But
what I'm
when
saying?
you're not the man anymore, what's your role in that relay? And
well,
that's the important thing to
It
look
don't
at.
necessarily mean that, because some of these young artists, let's get real, they're very arrogant.
No, that's
Some
true.
of them
No, it's true.
would not want
No, it's
any
true.
knowledge of wisdom, and
It
you're
is
like,
true.
yeah, you're the
True.
bastion
Yeah,
of
yeah.
experience and
True.
wisdom. They don't want to hear.
True.
So,
It's
you know, it would be nice, and in the idealistic world, you're like, okay, just like an African sage and a griot, you sit down in the village, and all the young
Share
people gather at your
experiences.
feet, and you bestow your knowledge on them.
As you were sharing with Dennis Brown, how he
Right.
did in the studio.
Exactly.
But that's not the experience you're having now.
But she's right though. The youth them nowadays, them first of all, some of them say them not have no nobody know
Inspire them.
Inspire
I'm
them.
just like,
They're
are you mad?
are you what?
What are you saying?
What are you saying? Yeah. If it's you mean
That's
nobody
impossible,
inspire
because
you.
that
I
is-
mean, quite a
that's-
few of them say it.
Yeah, that means that you are existing in a vacuum.
Which you know, some, as I said before, ego and arrogance.
Yeah.
And I think that also, you know, in going forward, it worries me. Because you always, in the American context, you always hear them bigging up those who were before.
Of course.
You know, and they honor them in such a way. So when I
Right.
hear our Jamaican youngsters can say that, and they don't exist in a vacuum, music a play from
Exactly,
ever,
it's-
wacky kill
This
fill
is
up.
weird.
It's
This
not
is weird.
making
It's
sense.
only in our genre. It's only in our genre where after you're doing music for a number of years, them designate you as all artists. Only in our genre.
But guess what? Me embrace it, you know. I embrace it with such love and wonderful. And me tell everybody my age, and a lot of people think I'm weird for me
I
to
do too.
embrace it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I am. I have no problem with it, but that don't mean that my musicality has dead. And
Exactly.
I go and I still create. Who want to listen and them listen. It's not a horrible thing to be an old artist, because they are going to be an old artist one day. Then better stop it.
No, it is not. It is not. But the thing is, when in our genre, when they designated you, it's just like, oh yeah, that's it. I
It's
move on. I'm
over.
like,
Yeah, it's true.
No.
Yeah.
Can I designate you as the speaker of the young artist, Joby? I mean, how do how do we change that spirit of it's just me, and how do we embrace a spirit of gratitude for those who have allowed us to be in the space, and how do we embrace that spirit of exchange, you know, sharing and getting? From your perspective, you know, what do you think is important for young artists to do, to be able to do that?
I think we have been talking a lot about social media and how it has made the space very different. I think social media has also done a lot of damage. I think one of the reasons why a lot of newer artists are very, you know, arrogant and not humble is because they get hyped on social media. So when you're getting all of this hype and everybody say, yeah man, you're bad and you're this and you're that, when they're in a space with other persons who have been in the industry, who have been putting in the work so that they can come and have a space, them don't know how to behave, because everybody on social media tell them say them bad. So why am I listen to an old artist? Why am I listen to an old artist?
Until them reach on the stage, and then them have to
And
perform.
them- and they don't know what to do.
And them have to perform
They don't know
after
how
we.
to perform. Some of them don't even know how to mic.
But then it's really sad, because this hype on social media, does it translate into an international career?
No.
Does it translate into an international hit? Does it
Right.
translate into anything? It does not. And it
Right.
really baffles me sometimes when I see that level of hype, and I'm like, honey child, your song has never played on Hot 97 or is
Exactly.
still playing, or you have never been on BET or MTV or still being, you know, and it's
Right.
just really ridiculous, the level that I see, the level of hypeness. So it really, really worries me in a sense, because I'm like, the social media thing, to me, it's almost like you are being fed on a lie. You're being fed on a lie because
Yeah.
numbers can be bought.
Right.
And
Exactly.
sometimes when you see the numbers and people go, I don't even know the song.
Wow.
Who's this person? So there's a lot of stuff happening on social media and it's not really resonating
With who it needs
to
to.
where it's supposed to be, which is passing numb and man like international airport.
How do I
You
set-
know, we could sit
know,
here
sir.
all day, and I feel like this forum is not enough for us to talk about these beautiful exchanges. And before we go to the break, I am going to speak it out into the universe that this musical connection that we've had here with Mr. Lexx, with Joby J, with Nadine Sutherland, that maybe there's going to be some track that's coming out of it. They were all on
could
the
be
track.
arranged. That
They
could
were
be
all
arranged.
on the track tonight. And let's see if there is going to be a musical track. I mean, you are tuned into Reggae Open University. Anything is possible. And before we go to that break, you are going to be listening to Vibrations as he performs his winning track for the Jaria online competition. Thank you so much. Yeah. 12 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are tuned into Reggae Open University. It has been a very, very vibrant track on tonight. And you're about to hear from Vibrations. He will be performing his winning track for the Jaria online competition. Please have him welcome.
Yeah. When rain a fall, sun will shine again. When storm a come, that is replenishment. Just focus upon what you bring to the day. I'm telling you, it will be okay. No matter what you going through, no matter what you thinking about, confidence must reign supreme. Life works with what you allow. Don't you pray to God then bow of your circumstances now. Either way, it's all a risk. What you choose, what you dismiss. So when rain or fall, sun will shine again. When storm a come, that is replenishment. Hey, that's focus on what you bring to the day. Oh, I'm telling you, it will be okay. Verbalize your wants, also your needs. Focus on self, don't use carry. Heard a million times, just plant a seed. Nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong with me. Take on yourself, save all receipts. Study the business of all your pre. Don't get discouraged, please. Life is B-O-N-D. Oh no, the reason stars align. Not all is made to combine. Change your diet or you will die. Spirit cry when you start try. So when rain a fall, sun will shine again. When storm a come, that is replenishment. Just focus on what you bring to the day. Oh God, I'm telling you, it will be okay. 'Cause it will be okay. 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 Oh, yeah.
That was a whole vibe from Vibrations, wasn't it?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
His voice is so good.
And as I listen to him, I listen to the words that he's saying and the lyrics, and I feel like it has brought us to a different side of the track. You know, we've been talking about where we're coming from, how we've been able to get that exchange, how we've been able to exchange it as well. But on that journey, when you take that baton, what's going to take you through? You spoke, Nadine, about hard work, about loving it. But can we talk a little bit about the lyrics? You know, one, how it has evolved, and from your own perspective, how important it is as a part of that musical journey. I see you're thinking it through, Nadine. I'm going to start with you.
No, I'm just, it's important for me because of probably like a pact I made with myself from very, very young in terms of the lyrics that it feels organic from my soul, you know. I try not to present what I am not lyrically, you know. I've lived in this music industry for so many years. I've seen people profess a specific lyrics and a specific image, and their lifestyle is completely different. Oh, we're in love and peace and joy, and it's somewhere about. So, you know, there's hypocrisy there sometimes. I guess some disconnect, because, you know, you can do that persona when you're on stage and, you know, you go and record and you can convince people this is who you are. You know, so I become extremely aware and cognizant that what I put out there is from an authentic space inside of me. So, you know, yeah.
That's important.
For me, I always try to share with the young artists them is that don't make song for Wagwan. Because when Wagwan gone, the song them are gone with Wagwan. I think the important, I think that there's a certain amount of, there's a certain amount of items you need in making a great song, and one of them is it's what you're talking about. See, anybody can take up a pen and write 8 lines that rhymes. Even take up a rhyming book and just write it, but
Or your phone.
It's what you talk about, you know what I say? And I think if you write a song that majority people can relate to, because not everybody gonna relate, no matter what you do, no matter what you do, everybody
know
gonna
your
relate.
audience.
But once the majority can relate to what you're saying, then I think that is a good thing, because you know that's what you need, more people can relate to what you're saying.
Right.
So I think it's more about the topic of what, you know, you gotta pick, you gotta choose your topic wisely. What you're saying, you know, you can't because most artists just rhyme, and you know what I say, and which I think this is why some of the songs them on the last 2 months or 3 months.
Or 2 weeks.
But then it not have no. So
I heard it last week and I don't want to hear it again this week.
Yeah, so I think it's more. When I sang Woman Better Can Cook, I never knew it was going to get embedded in our culture. I just know that it's a topic where a lot of people can relate to, because I grew up and I know a lot of girls are hot and can't cook.
Right.
So I try to choose, you know, topics that I know
relatable.
Like I said, from the majority can relate to it, because not everyone, no matter what you do, all Jesus, everybody couldn't relate to.
Yeah.
So once you find something what the majority can relate to, then you proceed to that. You know what I'm saying?
So we're taking it from
Wisdom.
authenticity, you know, you speaking words that you can connect with, that represents who you are. And Mr. Lexx, you're sharing, hey, let it be topical. People should
And
be able to
relatable.
relate
And
to this.
relatable, yeah.
And relatable.
And relatable.
Totally and utterly agree with
Yeah.
that. That's such a major part of it. Because some artists can be in their own skin and just like, you write a song and it's like, the depth of my soul is on it, and nobody can relate to it, because it's like, okay. So you are just like having a wonderful time, you know.
By yourself.
Yeah. So you have to really be cognizant, as what you say. Even if you're authentic, it has to be relatable, that every, you know, I call it the universality of a you know, specific lyrics and theme that you choose to write about. That's a very, very good point.
There's a difference between being lyrical and making a big song, because there's a lot of artists who's them just lyrical from now till the morning, but cannot make a hit song.
Yeah.
And then you have some artists where just put 3 lines together and get a hit song. You know, and that's kind of weird. This music, nobody have control over that.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody have control over that. But again, try to find something that the majority can relate to.
Joby, I'm passing the lyrical baton to you. For you, how important are lyrics? And based on, you know, what's also been shared, what's your process to deciding, okay, this is what the words are going to be?
All right. For me, first of all, I am very aware of the power that music has. I'm very aware of what music can do. Even without you opening your mouth, even without you saying anything, music is very powerful, and I've always been very cognizant of that. So I take that very seriously, and I do think it is a responsibility for me to be very intentional with the things that I say in my music. Music is art and expression, and I totally understand that, but I think if you are doing music and if you are writing music with intention, you will know and you will feel it, and it will be different, and different things will be said. So for me, you know, my music is me. Whatever I write about, whatever I'm singing about, it's something that I either experience or I've seen or I can relate to. And I know that other people can relate to it. But it's not only what you say, but it's also how you say what you have to say. So I always try to think about that, because I know that music is very powerful and it can do many things, you know. So for me, it's just it's very important for me to be intentional and be wise, because I mean, we can get up and say anything, because I mean, I'm a human. I feel many things and I experience a lot of things, but I don't think everything needs to be said in a song, because when you put it out, you cannot take it back. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it's intention and knowing, as I said before, the power of music.
It's so amazing to experience this exchange, and how what you've said, Nadine, what you've said, Lexx, what you've said, Joby, all comes together.
Yeah.
It literally comes together like one track. I said it out to the universe. Hello. You know, it comes together, and it shows how important it is for artists to have that exchange and also to collaborate.
Right.
Just in this conversation, this was very collaborative. Just what we've been sharing among each other was very collaborative, and that's very, very important. And I mean, before we close out, I want to, for each of you to share that one thing, or even two things briefly, to that artist or those artists who are listening to this conversation, the importance of that relay and their role in that relay. I'll throw it out, anybody can take it. The baton is flying all over.
All right, I'll start. So it's important for you to take note of those who are doing what you want to do. Take note of the good, take note of the bad, take note of what you like, what you don't like. Get to know yourself, because getting to know yourself and having an amount of self-awareness will help your music. It will also help people to connect with you more, because they'll see and feel that you're authentic. And always be willing to help. No matter where you are, you can always help someone and give some amount of advice. If it's just advice about how to hold a mic, or how to start a song, or how to make a chorus, you never know. So, you know, take note of what's going on so that you can also help somebody else.
Ah, we love that. Thank you so much.
I wanna tell them and say, yo, young artists, doing your homework is not only for school students. It's for every sector in society.
This is Reggae Open University.
Do your homework.
Do your homework.
Do your homework. This is what you want to do, then you have to know what happened before, prior to what, you know what I say? And so you would know where to, you know, direct your thing. Do your homework. It's not only designated for school students, it's for every sector. And if this is what you want to do, you have to know what happened, what, you know, you have to do your homework. Do your homework.
Study the music book, yeah?
Study the music book.
Study a book.
And study the music book. Both of them, everything that these two said, you know, I'm in total agreement with them. Lexx, about doing your homework, that is what is missing. A lot of people are not studying this music. Yeah. So you find that you hear, and you can hear it in the music, some of the music that is coming out now. You see it in the performances.
Oh,
you see it in the, you know, as you said, you're the internet star, and you come out there and you don't, everybody's doing the same thing. It is so cliche.
And everybody look alike.
And everybody look alike. The girls look alike. As Judy said about authenticity, there's so much, every girl is a replica, you know, patterning Megan Thee Stallion. Right, and every girl is a dolly. So you don't even know, sometimes you're like, who that, who that, who that, who that, who that, and you're saying the same thing. It's just regurgitated. Everything is on the same topic, and there is nobody that is standing out, having the confidence.
All right.
As Joby said, doing your homework, looking on the landscape. Will I get lost in all of the noise? who am I?
authentic.
So I can stand out.
Who am I?
Listen, you cannot get it any better. This is Reggae Open University. We thank you so much for your knowledge, for your experience, for exchanging that baton with us tonight. We spoke with Mr. Lexx, Joby J, Nadine. We appreciate you so much for sharing your experience
Thanks
with us.
for having us.
And yes, we
Thanks
love it.
for having us,
You know,
yeah.
thank you for tuning in to Reggae Open University. We want to say thank you to our sponsors, Chase, Urban Development Commission, Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, J. Ray and Nephew, PBC Jamaica, Sandals Creations Food. I mean, this has been an excellent, excellent relay. And as I said, I'm saying it out into the universe again. We look forward to that beautiful track from our lovely guests as they have shared with us. Thank you so much for joining Reggae Open University. Listen, it is...
Yes.
I said it here first in Reggae Open University. And, you know, as we go to the break, we are going to hear, well, we're not going to hear again from more vibrations, but we're about to close off. Thank you so much for joining us for Reggae Open University. Have a lovely evening.
Thanks for having us.